I've studied A Course in Miracles for 10 years. What better way to celebrate, to create a video? What happens after 10 years of studying A Course in Miracles? This is what we're going to talk about today. The first time we came in contact with A Course in Miracles was when we assisted a channeler and she was channeling Jesus. We just realized today even, another moment, that was the first time I actually experienced Jesus, Jeshua, through another being. This was Drunvalo Melchizedek's Awakening of the Heart workshop. When I don't know how many years ago this is, but this will tie into A Course in Miracles because it has to do with Jesus and how he has nudged me in all of these different ways that I'm going to show you. And why A Course in Miracles linked to Jesus? Because what we felt and what we have after we started studying it is that A Course in Miracles is the way Jeshua was thinking, how he was maneuvering his energy, what he was thinking about. That is those teachings, teaching truth. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So what can happen after 10 years? Well, we can just say that right now we are actually channeling Jesus, Jeshua, through our bodies. We didn't know that we could do that. We thought we were sort of defected in the dualistic perspective. I want to share with you this story because it is so dear to me and it just reminds me so much of how supportive Jeshua has been in my journey. And it was one of these awakening of the heart workshop that Drunvalo Melchizedek held many years ago. When I was booking and trying to find somewhere to stay, there was one being, and I can't remember exactly how we got in touch, but she offered me to stay with her. And I thought she seemed a little bit crazy. and so that was my judgment. And I sort of said no. And then I booked a hotel. And then the first day, I had someone just doing this on the back of my... and then I turned around. And it was her. And she said, "Hi!" And then straight into Jesus was just piercing my eyes. And I could feel there was just this going down, all the way down, scanning my entire body and up again. And as he was scanning me, I was scanning him. That just happened automatically. It was like just this mirrored effect. And and I was in complete, like, what was that? What did I feel there? Because that's what we paid attention to. And she said that Jesus just kicked her out, her consciousness out, and just took over. And so I just canceled that hotel and I stayed with her. That was the most interesting part of that entire journey. And she channeled much more during that. But that was the first time I've actually literally felt Jesus's energy penetrating mine in this body. It was very special, very, very special. And so then this other Jesus channeler, it's just been Jesus channelers all the way, like... And then this other Jesus channeler that I assisted, and that was the first time that I got introduced to A Course in Miracles, through that being. Because that's what she had done to connect to Jesus and her guides and teachers. And so that was her training. And so we got that. And so we started our training. And in that training, there's been a lot of shifts. In the beginning, first of all, I didn't comprehend what this was about. I didn't comprehend the words, what it actually meant. It was almost like I could read words, but sometimes I'm like, but what is it actually saying? You know, like I couldn't comprehend it in the beginning. But what it is, it's a calibration device to calibrate you to expand your awareness to see energetic truth. That is what we know now after so many years. And so there's been a lot of shifts in consciousness as we were reading. What we noticed, even if we didn't understand the words, was that we noticed that as we were reading, there was like this light being penetrated in our crown chakra and sort of like opened and let light in. We didn't know that that's what was happening, but that's what we know now, knowing energetic truth and knowing how energy flows. Then it's easy to piece things together. So we recognize that even if we didn't understand it, it was doing something internally because of the way that we can feel our energy system. And perhaps that was the opening to feel deeper, to house this energy. And this is how we are constantly being guided. But when you have the right frame of mind, the energy can manifest in the way that might seem miraculous for some beings. But it's important to go through the clarification process, which is the rebirth process, which is where you close realities from the old, you tie them up with a nice bow and you send them off, or you include them into this new way of being. That is what is required. It may seem harsh, it may seem like you are excluding yourself from people. Don't do it like that. You don't have to go that drastic then. You know, it's all step by step until your consciousness is ready and just coming through. So you have to allow that energy. And sometimes that energy will correct for you. And that can spark sometimes. But the more you allow that to integrate, the more you get used to that increase in energy, the more you get to embody who you are. And so that is what A Course in Miracles is. It is correcting the thought system that is needed for pure energy flow so that we land in our bodies and anchor onto this planet so that we can fully be in the experience as a soul, aware that we are here, aware what energy we are injecting here. We are playing this game. That's what this will do. It is an instigator of holistic frequency in your entire electromagnetic field. It will increase your capacity to comprehend energy, to read energy, to be geniuses, as what you call them in the dualistic perspective. But it is just correct perception. That brings clarity, that brings truth. And there are certain characteristics that you can read through a body that is in alignment with energetic truth. The energy is running where it should run, which is up and down. It's not meant to be leaked out in thoughts or sexual endeavors. Those we need to clarify all of these so that you are fueling yourself first here and then overflowing, and then creating from the inside out. That is why you're here. That's how you shine your light. By fully anchoring who you are and having that energy go like this. And that sometimes means there are certain energies that needs to be corrected a little bit. But that is the practical applications of A Course in Miracles. And that is the next step. But the first step is that clarification of the mind, knowing what's what. And we know that there are so many beings that are that have misunderstood A Course in Miracles and starts to analyze it from the mind. It's meant to be a calibration device so that you break out of the mind and into the body and into the field, so that you can feel the alignment that it produces. It is a very powerful correction device to correct the Western mind to truth. After 10 years of studying A Course in Miracles, as you can see, Jeshua is coming through, speaking to you through my body. And if you can feel that, good for you. And this is the results of all of the clarifications that we have undergone for years now, for the last few years. We have also experienced our forgiveness, our last forgiveness lesson. And we succeeded in the way that we are looking at the situation and the way that we have maneuvered it. And we have freed up so much energy. There is a bit of letting go in this process of channeling, and not be too rigid of saying what I want to say type of thing. So there is some flow here, as you can see. So after 10 years of studying A Course in Miracles every single day, most days, we have been a little bit on and off, but most days we have calibrated our mind, and it's so synchronistic. Every time we come home and before we go to bed, we read a little paragraph, and then usually there's always something about what I experienced that day that will assist me to okay, and see things a little bit differently. And so that is the teaching that I'm so grateful to comprehend now through these teachings that is coming through from Jeshua. So that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to share that with you. And it's been a while actually to fully acknowledge that, yes, I'm channeling Jesus, Jeshua, and I'm okay doing that now. I'm okay saying that. That's been a thing for us. It's not that easy to be fully aligned. Then your body has to be comfortable with it too. And so that takes some maneuvering. But we have cleared our field so that now we're more comfortable saying that we are actually channeling Jeshua's teachings. All right, take care, and we'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.